Stephanie, KN4DVO. Just got my license a couple weeks ago, so excited to meet everybody and excited to be here.
Hey, I'm Nathan, KN4DSD. Got my license a few weeks ago as well.
Great, thank you. Is there anyone else that missed here? Any other first-timers, new members? Okay. We'll skip the roll call tonight, try to get going with the program. Everybody be sure to either go on the mart, order your NFARL apparel like we have here, or your name badges like you'll see a lot of people having to order those as well. So everybody knows who we are, like Steve's right there. You remember who you are. All right.
That's the only way.
So we'll have a 50-50 drawing. 50% goes to the club, 50% goes to the winner of the drawing. That's the blue tickets, right? So if you didn't already get those tickets, you can get them here throughout the meeting sometime, and we'll have that drawing at the end of the evening. Membership, Paul?
It looks good, but still there are a typo in this picture. 234 of youth members is probably too much. But still, yeah. But still, you know, my point is to remind you about renewing your membership, and I placed several pieces of paper with the membership report. First of all, thanks to those of you who have renewed your membership in the last couple of months, and also there is a list of people whose membership is going to expire in the upcoming 4 months. Just a gentle reminder, so not a shame list. And on the other side of this piece of paper is you will find a list of people who used to be members, but probably they forgot to renew. And if you find yourself or a friend of yours, please remind them that it would be good to renew their membership. And you know what this money used for, and of course for our repeaters, for our meetings, for field day, and for almost everything you see here. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. All right, activities, John?
Thank you. Of course, field day's coming up. I'll leave that for later. 13 colonies. Nathan and I think W4QO are involved in that. Does anybody have anything to enlighten us on 13 colonies?
I can say a word.
If you would, please.
Several people had signed up with Nathan to operate as operators. Are any of you here? And did you get an email from him today saying how to do it and kind of that kind of stuff? Okay. We need a few more operators. So if you could put in, we've always sort of asked if you think you could do it, to do about 400 contacts. That's all week long. And you are very popular, right, Tim? I mean, you know, people are looking for these, and they're very popular. And the big demand seems to be on phone, because a lot of new hams are on phone, and they see this event and they get all excited about it and try to work all the state 13 original colonies and that type of thing. So if you're a phone operator, and that 400 may sound like a lot, you don't have to do 400, but you should have in your mind, you know, that that's what you'd like to do, and or that you might do that. Now it's 7 days long, so that's, what is that? About 60 a day, 60 a day, and that's, Bob, you've done it. You can do that at 60 in an hour, probably. Yeah, easy. No kidding. We have one guy in. He was one of our speakers. Paul Newberry. He was at Ham Jam, I guess it was, and he routinely does between 3,000 and 4,000 that week. He has a nice station. Don't wish. So if you'd like to do it, you can send Nathan. His call sign's not, or well, it's K4NHW NFARL or something like that. ARL. And send him, and even if you'd like to find out more about it, okay? But we do need about 3 or 4 more operators to really give it. We hate to see on all the spotting networks, where's Georgia? You know, where's Georgia? And all that kind of thing. So if you, and now as far as the rest of you go, as you know, you can go on and try to work, and work all the colonies, all 13 colonies. So how many people have done that in the past, worked all 13 colonies? See, it's quite a popular event. This is probably the 10th year for this, and it's gotten very big. There are well over 100,000 contacts made, or 200,000. It's a huge amount, and you're very much in demand, believe me.
Okay, thank you, Jim. And I also had up there about the Huntsville Ham Fest in August. For those who missed the Atlanta Ham Fest last month, or actually this month, and need to go to a Ham Fest, or new folks who don't know about this, this is one of the bigger ones in the southeast. So just up there is an informational bulletin. Our repeater nets, TechNet on Monday night. I'd like to thank Bob Beeman, K4BB, who's stepping down, who's done a yeoman's job for months and months of running this net. And it really is something you should check out on the 14547 machine. We have a chat room going simultaneously with the RF discussions, and people check in from around the country as well as all the local folks. And it's a great way to exchange ideas and to meet some of the club members. The wild nets continue on Thursday night, very popular, and we listen to those. So give that a shot too on the same 14547 machine. And of course the Aries group on Sunday night at 8:30, which I think we'll be hearing from them shortly on all their activities coming up. Oh, John, would you like to add something?
Yes, I would. You may have seen the press release yesterday, but I'm happy to tell you that. What did I do wrong?
You're 2RP, I think.
Got a light on the bottom? Yeah. Good, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway.
Reboot.
Mill Springs has been approved. Mill Springs has been approved for an ARIS contact in the first half of 2018, and we took the liberty of listing NFARL as the sponsoring radio club. So this will be an opportunity for us to participate in another ARIS contact. I would hope that this time, having learned a little bit with a little more foresight, we can make better use of the repeaters of Echolink to broadcast this around, but I think it's an exciting opportunity for Mill Springs and a really good opportunity for North Fulton. ARIS contact, for those of you who don't know, is ARIS stands for Amateur Radio on the International Space Station, and it will be a time for the students at Mill Springs Academy, which is Martha's school. Martha's in the back of the room here, to speak directly with the astronauts and ask them a series of questions. So it's a pretty cool thing.
And this will be a direct uplink and not a relay?
This will be a direct uplink.
I knew the answer to the question. I knew.
Oh, okay. Fresh batteries. John Reed, do you have anything else?
Aries is up.
Okay. All right, Jim.
Okay, back up.
Okay, I'm kind of moderating this. I don't know what the next slide is. Would you want to pop that one up for me? Okay, put the other one back on for a minute. There you go. We usually have a slide up here, and the EC or assistant EC and so forth and so on. I'll get up and tell you about the net on Sunday night, and the meetings are the second Tuesday, 1 week before this meeting at Fellowship Bible Church on Highway 92, Woodstock Road. And so that's going on, that's everything. But right now, you've probably seen the guys in the yellow jackets and so forth, yellow vests and so on, and the table back there is serving several purposes, and one purpose is to sign you up for a couple of upcoming events. And I believe the first upcoming event is July 2nd. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah.
Would you stand up maybe and sort of tell people, do you have a sign-up sheet back there?
I don't think we have that. We got quite a few people. This is
But-
a real quick thing.
Go ahead.
It's the 5th year we've been doing this, and Lennox is not having fireworks this year. Sandy Springs is having it for the 5th year, and it's really, they're expecting a lot of people. I think there were over 10,000 people last year. But the ham radio operators do areas. We get on the garage roofs, and they're afraid that the embers from the fireworks can actually start fires. So we report it to the fire department. it's a tough job. Everybody else is looking up. We're supposed to be looking down. Kind of hard to do that. So we actually swap. We get enough people, half will be looking up and half will be looking down. So if anybody else wants to take part in it, contact 84MC@nfarl.org. We'll help you out.
Okay, and another event coming up is the Hospitality 400 Ride, and our Assistant EC Grant Register is going to tell us about that. Go ahead.
Well, we do have a sign-up sheet for
Okay.
that.
All right.
It's July the 9th, which is a Sunday, and we do need volunteers for that.
How about a dozen? Something like that?
About a dozen, and we've already got a few tonight, so please, if you're interested in helping us with the bike ride, come and sign up. If you don't know what position you want, just give us your name, and I'll be doing updates. You can go to the website to find out where you might want to work, and we'll work it out.
Go ahead, Mike.
And you'll need a 440 radio. If you don't have one, we'll find one for you.
Right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes. And how many people have ever worked the Hospitality 400 before? Okay, several. It takes about 15 or 20 people to really do it right, because we have to cover 8 rest stops, and we and it,
100 miles.
and 100 miles, and it's and you'd like to have an early shift and a later shift and things like that. So because it starts out real early in the morning, they close 400 between Oakland Bridge and North Ridge, and to the chagrin of a lot of people coming south on 400. But they do it, and everybody rides down there quickly, and they open it back up, and then it goes off through the country, and they have different rides, different links. Do we remember what the links are? Like 30 or 40, 70, or 100 or something like that.
There's quite
How many people have ridden it before? All right, Tim. And who's ridden a motorcycle before? Tim.
That was a trick question.
And Scott. Okay, now if you put the next slide up, we've been talking quite a bit about this, and we wanted to provide some, and it was not a real good word, but we wanted to provide some definition, I guess you'd say. A lot of people are like, well, I came to some Aries meetings, but I don't know if I'm a member or not. I think I'm on a list somewhere, but I don't have the list. I wouldn't know who to call, and that kind of thing. So we're going to tell you a little bit here. How many people, in the top part there that you can read, it basically says it's for all radio amateurs. How many people really don't think of themselves in Aries, but have the kind of the feeling, if the big one hits, I'm available? Anybody, if the big one hits, would you be available to help out? I mean, if the big one hits. Okay, but a lot of you are not quite associated with Aries. Here, Aries is for all amateurs, okay? And we want to have all amateurs in North Fulton Aries. Everybody that has that feeling that if the big one hits, and in addition, you notice we have other events that Aries participates in, particularly like the Hospitality 400, there's Peachtree Road Race, all around town. Tour de Cure. There are all kinds of things like that, the SET. What we'd like to do is for people who think they might, in case they were needed, be a member of North Fulton Aries. And after all, Part 1, Part A of the FCC rules says recognition and enhancement of the value of amateur radio to the public as a voluntary non-communication service, particularly in times of emergency communications. There's 5 reasons, but I think most hams, they didn't put that first just to, pick one out of a hat. We really have the amateur radio service because they know a number of us are going to be available, and as Grant says, when all else fails, amateur radio works. Everybody says that. Amateur radio works. So we have in the back, we want to sort of clean up this thing and have a connectedness with people. And here, if you go to the next slide, here's what we think for basic Aries membership, if you will. We just call it membership, but there's basic and enhanced, and I'll talk about that a little bit. But and you notice most of these are pretty soft, like if available, as needed, So be willing during a serious situation to be contacted, as needed. And a lot of you held up your hands. Try to attend at least one North Fulton Areas meeting a year, perhaps the September meeting, because that's when we usually talk about the simulated emergency test. You notice it said try to. How soft is that? Be willing to participate. How does that? Be willing to participate, if possible, in the annual SET. Help out in other area-wide events, such as the bike rides, if available. I mean, how soft can this be? Why wouldn't every ham be a member? Check into the net once a month, if you can, you know. Advance to full areas capability as time and priorities permit. Now, full capability would be like you get the state areas badge. That takes, yeah, who's got one on tonight? Mike and Mike?
Took the test last night.
Took the test last night. It's tough. There's 4 courses you have to take from FEMA, isn't it FEMA?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to pass a test on areas activities, and you have to have a background check, and when you do, you get a state areas badge. You can get one, they're $15 for pictures and lamination and all that kind of thing. Now that has a higher prestige, I guess you'd say, but we don't want people to just think, well, I'm never going to be able to do that, so I guess I won't be in Aries. Well, the bottom line is you ought to be in Aries. Everybody ought to be in it. And back there tonight is a place to sign in and put your name, your call sign, your email, and your cell phone on that list. Now, we're not going to put it on the website or anything like that, but at the meetings, we'll have it available. And if you don't want it published, you can put that on there, don't publish this or something, you know, or what do they say, what's the telephone term?
No calls.
No calls and things like that, or private number and all that. But, yeah, that kind of thing. There's another name, and I work for the phone company. Huh? Do not disturb. So, yeah, so here's the thing. After the meeting, I want you all to go back there, sign your name on the list so we know how to get you. You can see this is all pretty softball, but, you know, just put your name on the list, and you'll be issued a North Fulton Areas membership card.
How much does it cost for this?
0. Okay, so, in fact, we'll pay you.
At the usual rate. A resource to know more about Aries is the Georgia Aries website.
Yes.
It's got an abundance of information about Aries on it.
Okay, so really, if you held your hand up, you're available for the big one, we'd like to put you on the list and give you a card, okay? And then we'll know, and you'll have that connection to the North Fulton Areas. And I've talked to a number of people said I've done a little bit, but I don't even know whether I'm in or out or what. So join us, okay?
Thank you, Jesse.
Be ready when the big one hits.
Thank you, Jim. Mike and Grant, everybody else that's really instrumental in Aries, thanks a lot for that. All right, Norfolk Field Day Apparel, the order went in and is available tonight, like the shirt that Jim's wearing right here you just saw. If you already ordered one, then you probably got it already tonight. Is there any others available? Okay, some more back here to be picked up, so. The NFARL apparel, which is like the one I have on, is available on the Mart. There's a polo, button-down shirt. Thought I adjusted that. Anyway, there's jackets lined and unlined. There you go. All this is available on the Mart. You can order it there and pay for it there, and then you pick it up either at one of the club meetings or Hungry Hams, something like that. We'll have it available for pickup, and there is we have items on hand from all the previous orders. There's at least one item from each order that's never been picked up, so we've got a lot of, we might have to create a lost and found or something. If you've ordered a shirt or a jacket or something, we've got it. So see Lori or I after the meeting. Most of you probably know that Bill Hampton passed Sunday. Wanted to take just a moment of silence here to remember W400. Is there anyone that would want to take just a minute and say something about Bill?
I'll say briefly, I think many of you know Bill. You can see the camera around his neck. He's taken lots of photos on behalf of the club, behalf of the amateur community over the years, not just for North Fulton, but at all the events. A lot of the picture documentation wouldn't exist without Bill. Bill's involved in repeaters in the Atlanta area for many years, long before I moved to Atlanta, and has given of his time to help many people get their stations and their FM gear up and operational. So it's going to be a huge hole, a huge void in the amateur community for quite some time.
In fact, Bill was just recently instrumental in helping me get Alan Adamson here to do the program on balloons, ham radio balloons that we just had, so very much involved.